The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 15th chapter, text number 1, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 29th of November, 1973, in New York.
So evam Krishna Sakha Krishna. Arjun's name is Krishna Sakha, and he is also called sometimes Krishna, because Arjun's bodily feature was almost similar to Krishna's bodily feature. So he was morose, being separated from Krishna, and his elder brother was suggesting whether you are morose for this reason or that reason or this reason. Actually, he was unhappy on account of being separated from Krishna. Similarly, not only Arjuna, all of us, we are also, Krishna, Arjuna is also a living entity. We are also living entity. So, we are also unhappy because we are separated from Krishna. These modern philosophers or scientists, they may suggest or they may go on thinking otherwise, that they can improve the world situation in their own way, but that is not possible. We are unhappy on account of being separated from Krishna. They do not know that. Just like a child is crying, and nobody can say why he is crying. But actually, a child is generally in crying condition, being separated from the mother. So not only it is the question of Arjuna or Krishna, every one of us. In the Upanishad it is said that Paramatma, Krishna, and the living entity, they are sitting on the same tree, samane vrikshe. One living entity is eating the fruit of the tree, and the other living entity is simply witnessing, anumanta. So Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna tishthat. Because without his sanction, the living entity cannot do anything. Sarvasya chaham riddhi sannivishta. Krishna says that I am seated in everyone's heart. So the living entity wants to do something out of his own whims. Krishna says, or Krishna gives good consultation, this will not make you happy, don't do this. But he is persistent, he will do it. Then Krishna sanctions, Paramatma, all right, you do it at your risk. This is going on. Every one of us very intimately connected with Krishna. And Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. Krishna is so kind that he is simply waiting when this rascal will turn his face towards me. He is simply looking. He is so kind. But we living entities, we are so rascal, we shall turn our face to everything except Krishna. This is our position. We want to be happy with so many ideas. Everyone is making his own idea. Now but these rascals, they do not know that what is the actual process for getting happiness. That is Krishna. That they do not know. Nate vidu shartha gatim hi Vishnu durasaya je bahirarthamani. You can see in your country. They are trying so many things. So many skyscraper buildings, so many motor cars, so many big cities, but there is no happiness. Because they do not know what is missing. That missing point we are giving. Here is You take Krishna and you'll be happy. This is our Krishna consciousness. Krishna and the living entity, they are very intimately connected. Like father and son, or friend, or master and servant, like that. We are very much intimately connected. But because we have forgotten our intimate relationship with Krishna and trying to become happy in this material world, therefore we have to undergo so much tribulations. This is it. Krishna bhuliya jiva bhogavancha. We living entities, we are trying to become happy within this material world. Why you are in the material world, why not in the spiritual world? In the spiritual world, nobody can become enjoyer, bhokta. That is only supreme. Bhoktaram jaggadamasam sarva. There is no mistake. There are also living entities, but they know perfectly well that real enjoyer, proprietor is Krishna. That is spiritual kingdom. Similarly, even in this material world, if we understand perfectly well that we are not enjoyer, Krishna is enjoyer, then it is spiritual world. This Krishna consciousness movement is trying to convince everyone that we are not enjoyer. Enjoyer is Krishna. Just like this whole body. The enjoyer is the stomach, and the hands and legs and eyes and ears and brains and everything. These should be engaged to find out the enjoyable things and put it in the stomach. This is natural. Similarly, we are part and parcel of God or Krishna. We are not enjoyer. In every religion it is accepted. Just like in Christian religion also it is said, "O God, give us our daily bread." Bread we cannot manufacture. It must come from God. That is Vedic also version. Nitya nityanang chetana chetananang eko jo bahunam vidudhati kaman. God or Krishna, He gives everything, necessities of life, as you like. But if you accept your enjoyable things as you like, then you become entangled. But if you accept things to be enjoyed by you, tena taktena bhunjita, as Krishna offers you, then you become happy. If you make, just like a diseased patient, if he wants to enjoy life in his own whimsical way, he will continue his disease. But if he accepts the modes of life according to the direction of the physician, then he becomes free from it. So there are two methods, pravitti and nivitti. Pravitti means, I have got inclination to eat this or to enjoy this, why not? I shall do it. I have got my freedom. But you have no freedom, sir. You are simply, that is Maya. You have no freedom. We get experience. Suppose there is very nice palatable food. If I think, let me eat as much possible, the next day I will have to starve, immediately dysentery or indigestion. So you cannot violate the laws of Krishna or laws of nature. That is not possible. You are not at all independent. Because these rascals, they will not understand this. They are always thinking we are independent. That is the cause of all unhappiness. Nobody is independent. How you can be independent? Nobody is independent, neither you can be independent, neither nobody is independent factually. Who is independent? You are sitting so many boys and girls. Who can say, I am independent of everything? No. Nobody can say that. So this is our mistake, and by misusing our independence, we are suffering in this material world in so many ways. That has to be reformed, that has to be checked. That is Krishna consciousness movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has preached, Jivet Sarupa Nitya Krishna Das. We living entities, we are eternally servant of Krishna. That is our position. But if we deny this position, then why shall I become servant of Krishna? I am independent. Then suffering begins immediately. Krishna Bhuliyaji Bhagavancha kare, as soon as he desires to enjoy independently, immediately, that means immediately is captured by Maya. Krishna Bhuliyaji Bhagavancha kare, pasate Maya tare japotiya thare. It is very easy to understand. Just like if you don't care for the government laws, if you want to live independently, that means immediately you are in the clutches of the police force. You haven't got to create, but it is already there. So our position is always dependent on God. We should understand this. This is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a song, Manasa deho geho jo kichu mor, ottinu tua pade nanda kishore. This mistake is going on, that I am independent king and my soldiers are my society, community, family, or so many we have been manufactured. But dehapatta kalatradishu atmasaineshu asassu api tasya nidhanam pramatya pasyannapi napassati. Just like a man fights, just like Hitler declared war, or so many wars are declared, this man is declared. Everyone is thinking, I am independent. So, and we are thinking that we have got so many soldiers, so many atomic bombs, and so many aeroplanes, we shall come out victorious. Similarly, each and every one of us, we are thinking, I am independent, and my wife, my children, my society, they are my soldiers. If I am in danger, they will help me. This is going on. This is called Maya. Pramatta tasya nidhanam pasyannapi napasyati. Because we have become mad after this so-called independence of God, we are thinking these things will help us, will protect us. That is Maya. Tasya nidhanam, everyone will be destroyed. Nobody will be able to give us protection. If real protection is wanted, you will have to take protection of Krishna. That is the instruction of Bhagavata. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. You rascal, you are thinking that so many things will give you protection. That will not be possible. You will be finished and your so-called protector and friends and soldiers, they will be finished. You don't depend on that. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam. You just surrender unto me. I will give you protection. Aham ta sarva papi mokkhasyami ma sujo. This is real protection. Everyone is falsely thinking independent, but he is dependent. But he is depending on false platform. That is the mistake of these materials. They are thinking of protection from a tilting platform, material world. So we have to take shelter of Krishna. Krishna is very friendly to all of us. Therefore he comes down from Vaikuntha to inform this. That is Bhagavad Gita. And that is elaborately explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the only thing. So the crisis, people are faced with so many crises, problems, that I told in the airport. The reporter asked me, what is the solution of this crisis coming? And solution is Krishna consciousness. It is already there. But you rascal, you will not take it. Solution is already there. If the Arabians think that this oil is Krishna's property, and the others purchasers, they also think Krishna's property, then they must agree also, America also must agree that is land of America is also Krishna's property. If you think that the Arabian oil is Krishna's property, God's property, we shall take it by force, then why the Arabians should not be allowed to come from the desert and live in America? But the foolish, they will not come. They have got United Nations. But the United Nations means simply committing mistake. That's all. That is their business. Why don't you unite it? Yes, this Arabian oil is Krishna's property. Similarly, the Australian land or the African land or this American land, so vast tract of land. But no, you cannot come here. Go. Immigration department. Go department. So this nonsense, these rascals, all these politicians, they are spoiling the situation, but they are so big rascals, they will not accept this solution. Take Krishna concentration and everything will be solved. That's a fact. Mudha, but they are so rascal, dushkitina, and full of sinful activities. Namanga dushkitina mudha prapadanti narana, and lowest of the mankind. So always remember that our preaching work is dealing with this kind of men. Dushkritina means full of sinful activities, mudha, rascals, naradhama, lowest of the mankind, and maya, avritagyana, and they are thinking they are very much advanced in education, but full number one, maya has taken their real knowledge. Maya, avritagyana. Asuri bhavamasa. Why all these things? Because they are godless. Only fault is godless. Asuri bhavamasa. Because they have taken the position, there is no God. These big scientists, they are trying to prove there is no God. This creation is due from matter, from chemical. The water has come from chemical combination, hydrogen, oxygen. These are all foolish theories, and they are getting Nobel Prize. They are getting Nobel Prize. This is the position. Therefore, from this verse we should know, it's like in the sky there is one moon only, and there are millions of stars. They are useless. What is the value of the millions of stars? But one more, dissipate the whole darkness of the night. Similarly, at least those who are taken to Krishna consciousness, you become, each of you become a moon and enlighten the world. And these so-called glowworms, they will not be able to do anything. That's a fact. Don't remain a glowworm, just become a sun and moon. Then people will be happy, he will be happy. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 5th Chapter, text number 22, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 15th, 1973 in Los Angeles.
In India still, no gentleman, Brahman, at least Brahmanas, those who are strictly following Brahmana principle, they do not drink. Neither the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas, they are allowed to drink in some particular function. That is also very rarely. And Vaishyas, they do not drink. Shudras, some of them. Those who are less than Shudras, they drink. And they make their own liquor at home. They boil the rice and with water they keep it for a few days. It becomes fermented, putrefied, and it becomes intoxicating. Homemade liquor. And if you distill it, then it becomes first class brandy. So, It is not that liquor drinking was not existing. There was. But who drank? That is stated here that viprasapa vimurana. Those who are cursed, vimurana, and being cursed, they were bewildered. Viprasapa. The story is that Jaduvamsa, the dynasty of Krishna, Krishna had 16,108 wives, and each wife had 10 sons, and each son had another 10 sons. In this way, the whole family was composed of hundreds and thousands of men, Jadu dynasty. And when Krishna came, so to assist him, all these demigods, they came to help him, Leela. Just like if you play something dramatic, you require so many assistants. So when Krishna comes, those who are devotees of Krishna, they also come to assist him. Somebody becomes his father, somebody his mother, somebody his friend, somebody his wife, somebody his son, some grandson, like that. So when Krishna wanted to depart from this planet, he wanted to take away all others also along with him. So these are simply material, external causes. Actual fact is, Krishna, as he went away, he wanted to take all the associates under different pleas. So it is explained in the Bhagavatam that the queens, they are not actually, nobody can touch them. Just like Sita was kidnapped by Ravan. How it is possible? If Sita can be kidnapped by a demon? No. That is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Chaitanya, he was a guest of a Brahmin in South India. So he took his bath and came to the house of the Brahmana. But the Brahmana did not arrange for any cooking even. There is no food. He was very sorry. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired, Brahmana, you invited me, but I don't see even you have cooked. What is the reason? Yes, I am going to cook immediately. Thing is, I am very sorry that Ravana, the demon, has taken away Sita, and I could not rescue her still. So, why shall I eat? I shall die. He was in the ecstasy of Hanuman, a devotee. He was thinking like Hanuman. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much like that he is in devotion and in ecstasy of Hanuman. He is thinking like that. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, so don't be sorry. Hey, Sita Lakshmi ji, she cannot be touched by Ravan. It was Maya Sita. Maya Sita. I'll tell you, I'll give you evidence from the Shastra. So Brahmana believed him because he said, is it that? Sita was not taken, Maya Sita was taken. Yes. Then he became encouraged, he cooked and sufficiently gave him food. So, by chance, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was touring in South India, the Puran, Shiva Purana, something like that, it is stated that. And he brought the evidence again. That here you see in the Puran it is said that when Ravan came to kidnap Sita, immediately a false Sita was given to him. And the real Sita disappeared. Then again, when Lord Ramchandra, after killing Ravana, he was accepting Sita back to home, he tasted with fire. And Sita, you should enter the fire, and if you are not burnt, then you are chaste. Otherwise you are not chaste. Yes? So, the false Sita, which was taken by Ravana, she entered the fire and the real Sita came out. This is the statement in the Shastra. So, as things take place like that, the queens of Krishna, they could not be touched. But it is a play only. Similarly, Jadu dynasty, the descendants of Krishna, they also could not be killed. But just like Krishna was killed by the arrow of a hunter, how Krishna can be killed? But it is for the person, for the demons to demonstrate like that, who thinks Krishna as ordinary human being. So, for them, it is a jugglery. They will still know that here your Krishna is killed. Yeah. They will say like that. Tanahang visata kuran chipami ajasram dujunis. These demons, as they want to forget Krishna, they do not like to understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna plays something like that so that they will be more convinced that Krishna is not God, Krishna is ordinary human. Tanahang disata Quran Krishna. They will remain in darkness forever. Krishna gives chance to everyone. If you want to forget Krishna, Krishna will give you such intelligence. He will talk so intelligently that Krishna is not God. Jijathamang prapadanti. And if you want to know Krishna, then he will give you such intelligence, he will know that here is Supreme Personality of God. This is Krishna. If you want to forget Krishna, Krishna will give you chance to forget him forever. And you suffer. Because forgetting Krishna, one is not benefited. By knowing Krishna is one benefited. But the demons, Rakshasas, they suffer and still they want to forget Krishna. This is the Now, the most important thing is that Krishna made this plan to kill his descendants. He did not like that this will. But who will kill them? That is the problem. They are descendants of Krishna. Who will kill them? Therefore it was Krishna's plan that they will kill themselves. If others come to kill Krishna's descendant, then what is the value of Krishna's descendant? Nobody could kill, because in the Krishna's presence, whenever there was fight, all the descendants, they came out, and we conquered them. Nobody. That is not possible. But Krishna wanted that before he is going away, all these demigods, they must also return. Return means this body must be killed, but we will kill them. That is the plan of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, Riddhesha Arjuna Tishtha. He is planning. He made this plan. So what is that? One of them made a false pregnancy with a stone on the baby, wrapped with cloth, and another boy or another man, he went to a rishi that, sir, can you tell what is the womb of the, what is the child in the womb of this woman? She is not woman, she is man. So the saintly person could understand that these people have come to joke me. So he immediately cursed Vipra. Yes, what is there in the womb, that will be the cause of destroying your whole family. So when they are cursed, they come to us and say, what you have done? So actually it was a stone. So they began to rub this stone so that there will be no existence of this stone. As rubbing, that pulp and water, that was distributed and all of them become sticks. So then after that they become intoxicated and they could not understand amongst themselves who is friend, who is enemy, and took those sticks and began to beat one another in this way and that. This is the story. You know, the stated in the Krishna book. So, our point is to know, this is a play only, background. Actually Krishna wanted to take them away. And nobody could kill them. Therefore he planned a killing plan among themselves. This is the fact. But we should know that Viprasapo Vimurana, if any person is cursed by Vipra, Brahmana, Vaishnava, then they are finished. Therefore, according to the Vedic civilization, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are always honored so that they may not be dissatisfied. This is the rule. Brahmana and Vaishnava, the devotees and the Brahmana. Vidupatat bhaved vipra brahmajanati iti Brahmana. Those who are spiritually advanced, such persons should not be offended. Then you are finished. According to our philosophy, Vaishnava aparad, just we are talking in our walking, that a great yogi, what is the name? Durvasa. Durvasa Muni offended Vaishnava. And immediately Sudarshan Chakra came to kill Durvasa. Vaishnava aparad is never tolerated by Krishna. Just like the Pandavas, they are Vaishnavas. And the Duryodhana and company, they were so-called Vaishnava. Actually they are not Vaishnava. So they insulted, they put to trouble so many ways. They banished them in the jungle, they insulted their wife in so many ways by clique. So Krishna could not tolerate that. Therefore the battle of Kurukshetra. So Vaishnava is kind. Arjuna, he said, my dear Krishna, whatever they have done, that doesn't matter. I cannot kill my family man. Please excuse me. They see, Arjuna is kind because he is Vaishnava. But Krishna cannot tolerate. Krishna said, you must kill them. That is my order. You must kill. Then he argued with Krishna in so many ways. There will be so much sin, there will be this, there will be that. Then he preached Bhagavad Gita, and at last he said that Arjuna, you are thinking that you shall be, by not fighting, you shall be able to save your family man, kinsman. That is not possible. That is not possible. They are already killed. It is not my plan. They will never return home. If you kill them, then you take the credit, but otherwise they are already killed. And if you think that you will not kill them, they will be saved, that is not possible. That is not possible. Then Arjuna understood that it is the determination of Krishna that they must be killed. Then why shall I disobey his order? It is my business to serve him. Yes, then I shall kill, if you have to decide. So, this is the fact that Krishna will never tolerate insult on a devotee. He will never tolerate. The devotee may excuse. Tinadapi sunite na tarorapi saisana. He may suffer, just like Prahlad Maharaj. He was suffering. His father was torturing him. He was suffering all that. But Krishna never tolerated. Oh, you have done so much. Now it is your time to kill him. This is the process. Krishna will tolerate, even if you insult Krishna, he will tolerate. But if you insult his devotee, he will never tolerate. Then you are finished. Then you are finished. Just like a big man, if you insult him, he may think, all right. But if you insult or do something harm to his child, he will never tolerate. He will never tolerate. Similarly, a devotee who is dependent on Krishna and everything, and if somebody does harm to him, insults him, Krishna will never tolerate. That is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vaishnava Aparada. Karmadde Vaishnava Aparada. Hati Mata. So we should be very careful not to offend Vaishnava devotees. Not to offend. This is the greatest offense. Therefore it is said, Viprasap, Vimurana. Vimurana, those are rascal fools. They want to try to insult real Brahmana Vaishnava. Then they are finished. Of course, Vaishnava never curses. Tolerate. Tinadapi suniti nota. Vaishnava tolerates, but Vishnu never tolerates. Viprasavad Vimurana Nignata Mushtibhi Mitha, being intoxicated. Another point is intoxication. We are already intoxicated. Being under the influence of Maya, the material energy, we are already forgotten of our self. Well, everybody, nobody knows that he is not this body. This is another intoxication. He is not this body, this is a fact. But go to the outside of this temple, ask anybody what you are. Yes, I am this body. They are already intoxicated. So, again if you drink, then how much intoxicated you become? You just try to understand. Varuni Modirang Pitya Madana Mothita Chitasa. Everyone who is in this material world, forgotten God or Krishna, he is already intoxicated. Just like intoxicated man, he cannot recognize even his father and mother, or even his sister or mother. It has been practical. One father intoxicated, there are so many instances. Raped his daughter. Daughter is crying, my dear father, I'm who cares for that? Intoxicated. This is like that. So intoxication is so sinful. Intoxication is so sinful that just as the hog is intoxicated by this material world, eating stool is a food, but he is tasting very nice and is deriving benefit, sexually very strong, never cares whether mother, sister or daughter. Every example is there in front. So by intoxication, we are already we have to get out of this intoxicated condition of life, which is called Maya. Instead of getting out of this intoxicated life, if we more increase our intoxication, big signboard, beef eaters and these whiskey, then how much we are degrading the whole population. We have to imagine. People are already in forgetfulness. And the government, the society, and they are still giving impetus. You forget more, you forget more. Then he doesn't know. Visatang tamissa. Adanta gobhi visatang tamissa. And they do not know that I'll have to take next bath. And according to my mentality, because I am infecting a certain type of material qualities, in that way I am creating my next body. That he does not know. This is due to intoxication. He is thinking that I enjoy my life in this way forever, but he does not know that he is creating the mentality, and according to the mentality, hog's mentality, he will become next life a pig, and he will eat. He has to by force. Not by force, he will relish it. Maya, this is called Avararatmika Shakti, covering influence. The pig is eating stool, but he is very much satisfied. Such a nice food. He is having intercourse with his daughter or sister or mother, he is enjoying. So the hellish condition. So we create our hellish condition. Where from the hog come? The hog comes also, is also living entity. By process of transmigration of the soul, one is accepting, sometimes as a hog, sometimes a dog, sometimes a demigod, sometimes rich man, sometimes poor man, sometimes tree. That they do not know. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ei rupe brahmanda bhramite kono bhagwanji. We are spoiling our time in this way, transmigrating from one type of body to another, and there are 8,400,000 types of body. So, in the human form of life, if one is actually fortunate, then Guru Krishna Kripaya Pai Bhakti Lata. By the mercy of Guru and by the mercy of Krishna, one gets the opportunity of understanding Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, they are entrapped by his Maya, intoxication, and wandering throughout the whole universe and different types of body. So this is called Varning Mudirami Pitya Madanamotita Chidasam Ajanata. Ajanata, without any knowledge. We are fighting one another without any knowledge. Why the Americans were fighting with Arabians, and the Arabians are fighting? The fighting is going on. The United Nations means fighting settlement arena, that's all. but the fighting is going on. So, unless we are self-realized, unless we know that we are all sons of God, this outward dress is Maya. Like I am not American, I am not Indian. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nang Vitva Nachanarapati Najutidba. He says like that. That he is taking the Varnashram dharma. Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu denied all these. No, I am not Brahmin, no, I am a Shudra, no, I am Grihastha, no, I am a Kshatriya. Then what you are? Gopi Vartuk Padakamaleo, Daso Dasan Das. I am the servant and the servant and the servant of Krishna, who provides the gopis. This is our real identity. So, without understanding our real identification, if we remain intoxicated and wander within this wonderful universe, you cannot leave. It is not that because you have settled up, now I am American or Indian, let me live here comfortably, I have got very good arrangement. But you will not be allowed to leave, sir. You must have to check. You may make very good arrangement that who is allowing to stay here will not be allowed to stay, but they do not know. Intoxicated. Because intoxicated. Everyone is thinking that I shall stay forever. Let there be very big iron skyscraper building. I will be able to stay. But because intoxicated, he cannot understand that he will not be allowed to stay. You may simply spoil your energy, that's all. The energy which was given to you to understand God, you are spoiling that energy in skyscraper building, but you will not be allowed to stay. This is nature. But the rascals, they do not know because they are intoxicated already by the nature's law, Maya, and they are still being intoxicated. More drink liquor, more drink, and go to hell. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 15th Chapter, text number 36, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 14th, 1973, in Los Angeles.
Here is one word, Jaho. Jaho Satanya Sabaniya Satkatha. So, when Krishna left, he left with the self-same body. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Jada jada hi dharmasya klani bhavati bharata tadatmanam srijamah. In another place, Krishna says, Atma Maya. Atma Maya. Maya means potency, energy. So, there are three potencies, there are many potencies. Parasya Shakti Vividhaiva Shriyate. God has unlimited potencies, but learned scholars, saintly persons, they have not rejected potencies, because that cannot be. There are certain philosophers, they are of opinion that God has no potency. But that is not fact. From Vedic information we see potency. What is that? How to understand the potency? Potency you can understand just like from the fire you have got two potencies, heat and light. Nobody can deny it. Similarly, as fire is placed in one place, but it expands its potencies, heat and light. That is within our experience. It is not very difficult. Similarly, the sun also, everyone can see that the sun planet, the big planet, the biggest planet, or star, as somebody says, whatever it may be, it is lying in one corner of the sky. But it expands its potencies throughout the universe. The sunshine is distributed all over the sky, all over the planetary system. And similarly, heat also. We are feeling 99 million miles away. Is that 99 miles? What is that? Scientists said. 93 million miles away from us, still we are feeling scorching heat. 120 degree, 135 degree. In Middle East the temperature is 135 degree. It is impossible to stay on the surface of the globe. One goes down to the earth. So potency is there. If in material thing like the sun is a material thing. It has got so much potency. So, how much potencies the Supreme Personality of God has got, that is called inconceivable potency. Achinta, beyond your perception. He has got that potency. So that is the statement of Vedas. Parasya natasya karyam karanancha vidyate natasya sama adhikasta drishyate parasya shakti vividaiva sriyate sabhaviki jnana bala kriyacha. This is description of the absolute truth, the Supreme Person. Because it is said tosya. Tosya means he is a person. Now what kind of person? Like me? Whole day working for money? No. Natasya karyam karanancha vidyate. He has nothing to do. See here. Krishna has nothing to do. Simply is enjoying, playing on flute and enjoying with other animals. That's all. He hasn't got to go to the office, to the factory. He hasn't got. It's simply to enjoy. Anandamaya abhyasa. And we also imitate that enjoyment. We also want to mix young boys and girls, dance together. But because we imitate Krishna. The same thing is there. With gopis, Krishna is dancing. Here also we are dancing in night club and this club, that club. But that will not give you satisfaction because it is imitation. If you want real dancing, come to Krishna. That is one thing. That is Krishna consciousness. That we are trying to take the misled people from illusion to the reality. The Mayavadi philosopher, they see that there is no more any pleasure in this dancing, make it zero. Forget it. No, we don't say that. We say that this dancing is there in the original conception and the absolute truth. That is the Vedanta Sutra say, Janmadasya jataha. Whatever you are experiencing, where from it has come? It has come from the absolute. That is the absolute idea. But here, in the relative world, it is pervertedly reflected And because it is not reality, therefore you are confused, baffled. So our proposition is, come to the reality. That is Krishna consciousness. The same dancing, just like here is the picture, Krishna is dancing in the gopis. We also like anybody of us, in old age, they are dancing with young girls. In Paris, there is club. All going to die, such old men, they are coming in the club, paying $50 as entrance fee. Then they have to pay for young girls and wine. But still they come. They cannot actually enjoy. Bayak gate king jubati nari. When one is old man, what is the use of mixing with young girls? Yes. So, but they like it. They like it. They pay for it. But they do not enjoy. Because if they have enjoyed, they would have been satisfied. But they are not satisfied. Frustrated. So this is the position. This is the position. Just like the heat and light. If you are feeling the heat in the sunshine, but that does not mean the sun is there. You cannot say that. Sun is there and not there. This is called simultaneously inconceivable presence of God everywhere. He is present everywhere. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat abbakta murtina masthani sarvabhutani nahamateshu avastita. Maya tatamidam sarvam. Krishna says, by my impersonal feature, I am spread everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere is Krishna. Masthani sarvabhutani. Everything is resting on me. This is the fact. Just like in this material world, everything resting on the sunshine. That is scientific. Is it not scientific? The sunshine, the planets, they are rotating on account of this heat and sunshine. Is it not the theory? Yes. So, now what do we mean by everything? Just like this planet. Everything with this planet, the trees, the rivers, the mountains, the cities, the cars, everything within this planet. That is an unit. So this is one planet. And there are millions and trillions of planets. But how they are existing? Existing on the sunshine. So where from the sunshine comes? The sunshine comes from God. Or the sun comes from God. Janmadasya jataha. Everything is born. Everything is emanating from the Absolute. Therefore, indirectly, everything is depending on Krishna's potency. Masthani sarvabhutani. Everything is resting on my potency. Naham teshu avastita. But I am not there. This is the achinta vedavet tattva. Simultaneously one and different. This is our philosophy. So, our point is that Krishna or God is there and He is working through His potencies. Just like a big man. He is sitting in his parlor. He hasn't got to go. Just like we have seen Mr. Birla in those who are with me, they have seen. He is sitting in his home, but he has got many potencies. He has got secretaries, clerks, and this and that, so many things. So they are doing all work. He hasn't got to work. A big man means he hasn't got to work personally. He has got so many assistants. Similarly, Krishna, He is the Supreme. He hasn't got to work himself. He hasn't got to work. Vrindavanam parittajana padamepam gacchati. He is always engaged. is playing flute and dancing with the gopis. That's all. Pleasure. Anandamaya Abhyasa. That is pleasure. So, his potencies are working. What kind of potency? That is described. I have given the example. Just like the sun is there, and the sunshine is there, and the sunshine is working, everything. By the sunshine, the trees are coming out, the leaves are coming out, they are dropping when there is no sunshine. So everything depending on sunshine. That is explained in the Vedic literature. Eko deshastita syadme josna vistarina jatha parasya brahmana shakti sarvedam akhilam jagat. Parasya brahmana shakti, whatever you are seeing in this cosmic manifestation, they are simply demonstration of the potency of the Lord. Parasya brahmana shakti. So, we take our birth and we accept our death, not independently. We are under the another potency. We are also on potency. There are prasa shakti vividaiva sriyate. Those potencies have been divided into three. Multi, but roughly they have been divided into three. One is called internal potency. One is called the external potency. And one is called the marginal potency. So, the external potency means this material world. The whole material universe, so many universes, so many planets, stars, skies and everything. These are the demonstration of the external potency. And similarly, there is the spiritual world. Spiritual world that we cannot see. That is not within our experience, but we get it from the Shastra in the Bhagavad Gita. It is said, Parastasmatsu bhava annam. Krishna says, there is another nature. Parastasmat, this material nature. Beyond that, there is another nature. Parastasmatsu bhava anya, bhaktya bhaktya sanatana, that is eternal. This material nature is not eternal. Just like your body, my body, it is not eternal. Similarly, this gigantic body of universe, that is also not eternal. It has a date of creation and it has a date for dissolution. That is the nature. Therefore it is said that material nature is sanatana. That is never created, neither it is annihilated. So, we marginal. Marginal means actually we belong to the spiritual nature because we are spirit soul. But we have come in contact with this material nature, somehow or other. So, therefore we are seeing our position incompatible. We cannot adjust here. Therefore, we are getting one type of body and enjoying or suffering another type of body, another type of body, another type of body. This is going on. Therefore, we are called marginal. If we like, we can transfer ourselves to the spiritual world and remain eternally because we are of the spiritual nature. That is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Na jayate namriyate va kadachit nitta sasatoyam na hannati hannamani sariri. This is the description of the soul. The soul is never born. Na jayate. Namriyate, neither it dies. Na jayate va amriyate va kadachit, at any time. Not that Sometimes we used to live or sometimes we used to die. No. Everlastingly, eternally. We never take our birth, never we die. Then what is this death? This death is of the material body, not of the soul. Therefore it is said, na hannate hannamani sarire, more distinctly, that don't think that the soul is dead after the annihilation of this body. So now the conclusion is that because we are marginal, in between the spiritual nature and the material nature, although we are spiritual, although we are our real nature is na jayate na mriyate, we never take birth, never die. But on account of our contact with this material nature, we are getting this material body, and the body is changed. Tatha dehantara prati. Body is changed, and that we have taken as our nature. But that is not our nature. We are spirit soul. We are put into marginal because just like the margin is explained, tatastha, that is we have translated into marginal. Just like we go on the Pacific beach. Someday we find the water is covering the beach, and someday we see it is open. There is no water. But that is called marginal. Marginal. Sometimes it is covered by water. Sometimes there is no water. Similarly, we being marginal potency, we are sometimes influenced by this material nature. Not always. Because at the present moment, for sometimes we are under the material nature. Now if we try, then we can get out of this covering of material nature and come to the spiritual nature. That is Krishna consciousness movement. Krishna consciousness movement means don't remain in the marginal position, come into the land, so there will be no disturbance by the water. This is position. If you remain on the marginal position, then sometimes you will be covered by the water and sometimes it will be dry. But if you little come forward, this side, land side, the ocean has no power to touch you. But Krishna is not like that. That is described here. Although Krishna left this world, that does not mean that he left this world as we live. Our living this world means we are living this material body and accepting another body. Therefore, at the present moment, we are not in our own body. Our body is changing. Now this American body, and next birth may be Russian body. This is going on. You are fighting against the Russian, Americans. But he may get the Russian body next life. Therefore, as American, he fought the whole life with the Russian and he is going to become a Russian. Sada tadbhava bhavita. This is the law of nature. This is the law of nature. And then again fights against America. As soon as he gets the Russian body, then he becomes again American. And this is going on. Bhutta praliyata. Sometimes Russian, sometimes American. Go on fighting. That's all. So this is called Maya. This is Maya. Everyone is doing that. Everyone is doing that. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya says, Ei rupe brahmanda bhramete kono bhagwan ji. The living entities are loitering like this. Sometimes this body, sometimes that body, sometimes this way, sometimes that way. He is simply loitering. He is not getting where to take shelter. Where permanent light, permanent peace, permanent happiness, he does not know. He does not know. Simply changing. In the material world also, they are simply changing some form of government, electing one rascal, again rejecting another rascal, because they are all rascals. They have no other alternative than to elect one rascal. But they are thinking by rejecting this rascal, we shall be happy. He does not know how to elect. He does not know how to elect. Andhajathandhirupaniyamanah. They are themselves blind, and they are accepting a leader who is also blind. So what will be the profit? If you are led by, you are blind, and if you are led by another blind, then what will be the profit? Both of you will fall down in the ditch. That is going on. Therefore, if you want real happiness, you must take the leadership of a man who has got eyes to see. Then it will be all right. So, whose eyes are open? And that is in the Vedic literature says, Ajnana timinandhasya jnananjana salakaya chaksur militam jena tasmai sri gurave namaha. It is the business of the Guru, because everyone is blind or in darkness, cannot see. So it is the Guru's business to open his eyes or to help him to see things as they are. That is Guru's business. Ajnana timinandhasya, everyone is covered by the darkness of ignorance. So how darkness can be moved if there is light? Immediately, if you make the switch off of the electricity, this room will be dark. And again, you make the switch on, there will be light. Just like at night, we cannot see, everything is there because the light, sun is not there. In the morning, as soon as the sun is there, again everything you can see. So things are there because we are in the darkness of ignorance. We cannot see them properly. I am there, you are there, God is there, everything is there. Simply we have to get the light or the proper situation to see things as they are. That is what. The Vedic literature, therefore, advises that if you want, first of all, Vedas advises, don't keep yourself in the darkness. Tamasima, jyotigama. Don't keep yourself in the darkness. This is human life. In the human life, in the animal life, you kept yourself in darkness because there was no possibility of come to the light. If I invite all the dogs and animals of Los Angeles city to come here to hear about Bhagavad Gita, it is not possible, because they are animals. But if I appeal to the human being, because he is human being, he may be interested. He should be interested, but the time is so bad that nobody is interested. But still he may be interested. But that is not possible for the animals, cats and dogs. So, in the human form of life, there is necessity of coming to the light and make a solution of the problems of life. Therefore Krishna comes. That is the statement of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Jada jada hi dharmasya grani bhavati bharata tadatmanam sijamaha. Akamaya. So Krishna comes He does not come like us. We are under the control of the material nature. But Krishna is not under the control of material nature. That is to be understood. Therefore here it is said that Jaho Satanya, Sa means Om, and Tanya, Tanu means his body. We have got distinction. I am the soul, but this body is material. This distinction we have got because we are conditioned soul. Actually I am not this body, I am soul. But I have become conditioned by this material body. And in case of Krishna, he is not conditioned by this material body. Therefore it is said Satanna, by his own original spiritual body. This is the distinction, he must understand. One scholar has described, because he does not know Krishna and is still writing comments on Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna said, Manmana bhava mad bhakto mad jaji mang namaskuru, just think of myself, just become my devotee, offer your obeisances unto me, worship me. This rascal says, it is not to Krishna, the person, but to the soul. Now he says, let's see how much ignorant he is. He does not know that Krishna has no such division as his self or soul and the body. And he is writing comment. And this is very scholarly, it is. He is a rascal number one, and he is accepted as scholar. This is going on. This is going on all over the world. Thank you very much.